What is up, guys? Sawcasm here. Today we're playing some Wings Remastered, which is a remake of a very, very old school game, but now it's for the iPhone and Android devices. So we're playing it on the iPhone, and let's hop right into a game. So basically it's a flight, I don't want to say flight simulator, but an airplane combat simulator. Not simulator, but it's some sort of flight battle game. And yeah, so let's hop into a game where we're reading the Flight Journal 56 Arrow Squadrons, kind of the introduction to the game and sort of the story behind it. So, finally arrived at Luxeuil. Couldn't ask for better quarters. Apparently this place was a spot for King Louis XV. All around us, fruit trees blossom on grassy slopes covered by blue and yellow flowers. In the distance, I could see the snow-capped Vosges Mountains, their flanks bristling with a solid mass of giant pines. It's 5 a.m. and I'm scared as hell. In less than an hour, I'll be flying my first patrol to the front. Just imagining what it'll be like kept me up all night. That rhymed. And I wish I'd gotten some sleep. This guy's flying on no sleep. That's going to be tough. So, we already kind of created a character. Now we're about to do a bunch of missions, which is essentially what this game is. It's basically added up, a bunch of smaller missions added up to form this greater game and this story. So, here we go. We're following the journey of ourself as a pilot, and my partner and I took off into a ghostly sunrise. The gnawing in my gut told me we'd soon find the Hun. Sure enough, after a nagging lull, we found a pair of worthy opponents below us. They were close enough to touch. So, the tricky part about this game is that the combat is actually, or the flight movement is actually inverted. You could also change it, but I know that that's kind of the standard for airplanes and stuff like that. So if you've never flew a plane, even in a game before, like I haven't, this might be a little bit difficult for you. So very simple controls. There's different variations of the missions. They're not all like a first or third person view, rather. A lot of them are top down and stuff like that. But this one, it just happens to be this view. And so what we have to do is dogfight these guys right here. Hopefully we could get a nice lead our shots nicely in front of them. Or we could just keep spinning around and, you know, just dive right into them. But I don't think that's the most effective strategy, because I would like to live to tell the tale. So, we're chasing this guy down. Looks like our teammate was able to cut him off. I'm not sure if my shots there even landed. But anyway, he's done. And yeah, so I'm going to keep this inverted controls. I'm going to get used to it. I've been trying to play with it a little bit to get used to it. So I have an okay handle on the controls and stuff like that. But it's all good. So, let's get him in our sights, and then we can chase him down and then proceed to lead our shots. So you do need a little bit of time to set up your shots where they will go in front of the plane instead of, and this probably looks instead of right at them, but this probably looks super ridiculous in the sense that, like, you guys are probably like, what the heck are you doing? Just go shoot them. But it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. My buccos, my friends, my amigos, and amigas, and all that. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, in the sense that the controls aren't so simple, and your turning speed, especially at this rate, isn't so good. Now, there are different stats you can invest in your character when you create your character, which I'll show you guys at a later date, but there are a couple of options, and I didn't really invest too much in the flying, so that could be why. But anyway, the sweet taste of victory. My tally was on the rise. So, my guy apparently eats victory for dinner. So, we got one plane and an okay status, and I believe our partner destroyed one plane. So, there's sort of this weird roster for all the people in our squadron, and it shows the missions and kills they've been on. So, pretty cool. Flight journal, once again. Woke this morning before dawn and gulped down a lukewarm cup of chicory masquerading as coffee. I'm flying wingtip on the mid-morning patrol to Verdun, so I'll have to eat breakfast later. Don't want to go up with a full stomach. One of the first things we learned at flight school is that gas expands at higher altitudes. Don't want to make the war messier than it has to be. I see what you did there. Gonna have some stomach problems. That's why I do want to do it. Okay, so once again, we have to defeat all enemy planes. And when I did the tutorial, there definitely was some other sorts of missions, but well, the clouds opened up and left us staring into the gun sights of the enemy. One of him and two of us. The odds couldn't have been better. So it's a 2v1 situation. Hopefully this guy doesn't have 8 gazillion health, but this shouldn't be too difficult considering the circumstances. We're going to try to keep our... not try to mess with our aim too much, but what we're trying to do is get him in our sights and then Shoot, shoot, shoot. So one thing to keep in mind, you can actually jam your gun if you hold down the fire for too long without letting it cool down. So there we go. A perfect example, a perfect timing. My guns have jammed. I'm a sitting duck. So right now we have to rely on our teammates and wait for our guns to get off the cooldown. Literally cool down. I guess that's where they get the term from. And so here we go. We have a very good position on him right now. You see we got a couple of shots off on him, and we need to land a couple of more to take him down, I believe. A couple more, and he should be going down. We do have our partner shooting at him, so these 2v1 odds, very advantageous for us, clearly. I think that goes without saying, that a 2v1 is advantageous. You can do all sorts of weird maneuvers like this, not necessarily in-game. It's not like, oh, I could do the spin move by pressing this button, but you could just literally do that. So there we go. We're able to take him out with the help of our buddy. And we're going to continue flying, I suppose. I believe we took him out. Can this mission end? Why is this mission not ending? Ah, sweet taste of victory. My tally was on the rise. Once again, you said that already, my friend. So, cool. So we actually got that kill. And now let's continue on to Flight Journal. Curse the fuckers, Scourge. These turns really know what they're doing with the synchronized machine guns. I'm glad we have our Vickers, but we need to start shooting better, or our trigger fingers will soon be little more than mincemeat. Speaking of mincemeat, today should be a good chance to grind up some Endickers. Our vulnerable CO, Colonel Farah, is sending me on patrol with 2 other pilots. Okay, so interesting. Colonel Farah sounds like a girl, if you ask me. Anyway, so we're going to go on a quote-unquote patrol with 2 other pilots. So this should be interesting. Squaring off for an equal matchup, I took my place as leader of our formation. The boys were depending on me as I steadied my hand to bank left and initiate our peel off. So it's literally telling us that we should bank left and lead our buddies to the left. And that is exactly what we did. Now we're going to reinitiate from the left side, and we should have a better position on them. So we probably could have pulled a little bit further left even. Definitely even more than this, but I think at this point that it wouldn't be so helpful to do it much more than this. But anyway, okay, so what we want to do is not just run straight into their bullets. That is absolutely not what we want to do. But we want to kind of get behind them in pretty much every war, or I really don't know what to call this genre of game, this airplane fighter, I guess is what you'd call it, like War Thunder, stuff like that. You pretty much want to get behind the enemy plane when possible and get them as you're following them and on turns, because obviously if you're behind them, they can't in turn shoot you back. So it's pretty much the most advantageous position you could be in. There are some exceptions, of course. Of course, you also have to keep in mind the enemy's positioning with their teammates, and there's more than one. So just because you're behind one person, or one plane rather, doesn't necessarily mean you're in a good position, because there could be another one behind you. So it looks like that one actually crashed. So not to say he's not in a good position. Let's just do a flip for the hell of it. Woo! We're probably gonna crash. All right, didn't really let us do that full flip, but oh well. We're gonna be flying upside down for the rest of the video. No, I'm just kidding. That might end up being annoying. I'm pretty sure I would get sick too. So it looks like this plane crashed as well. GG, we forced them to crash into the sky. No, I think our teammate actually shot him out of the sky. But regardless, a win is a win. That's what I always say. And another etching in the art of success. We'd blown for the Bosch into oblivion. Sweetness. So, got 1 plane takedown in that match. Not too shabby. We did have 3 missions and 3 kills under our belts. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. Not too shabby. Colonel Farah ain't too happy with us. He says an unfair fight ain't a fight worth fighting. As far as he's concerned, our job is to blow the enemy from the sky, but only if we do it like gentlemen. Today I'm scheduled for my first strafing run. Fighting at Verdun is at a deadlock, and we need to open the lines. With any luck, Fritz won't be expecting us, and we'll push him back where he belongs. I'm not sure if I agree with the notion of not fighting in an advantageous position. I would actually completely disagree with that. But, you know, fair fight, yeah, screw fair fights. I don't want no fair fight. I want to destroy you. Huns on parade. As we approached the front, we counted hundreds of enemy soldiers surging forth to gain new ground. We guessed right. They hadn't expected us. All right, so this is exactly what I was talking about. Different angle that you could play as. Now, it's a little bit... Oh, man, I have to sneeze. excuse me, a little bit more difficult to aim in the sense that you don't really have a dedicated aiming control, but what you do have is this movement stick and then this shoot button, and that's pretty much it. You have to just gauge the distance of the enemies and where they are in relation to you. You can move around and get some aiming done that way, but it's not as effective as you would think, and in even the controls of the movement is a little bit clunky on this side of things. I would say overall the movement is a little bit clunky, even the other view. But it is an old game, keep that in mind. It's just a remastered version. It's not necessarily completely redone. They just touched it up rather than remaking it in like an HD version or anything like that. So it doesn't look too bad, but I've actually read some reviews and people said that they used to love this game, so they're looking forward to this. So yeah, I'm making this video for you guys. Maybe you want to check it out before you buy it or anything like that, because it is $5 in the App Store, so keep that in mind. But anyway, all those rounds and I still couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a bass fiddle, okay? Thanks for sharing, I suppose. So we failed that mission. Okay, wow. Whoopsies. Well, we need to continue. Unfortunately, we failed that. I guess we didn't kill enough soldiers, but I was struggling there. So flight journal. Let's continue. It's wickedly cold this morning, and the ragged wool blanket I've dropped around my shoulders isn't doing much to keep me warm. Sleep is about as rare a commodity around here as firewood, yet even in the coldest hours before dawn, we can't stop worrying about the Fokker. Scourge. Soon as the sun arises, Fire is sending 3 of us up to go and take a look around. Haven't written anything yet about our top-notch support team. Right now, they're clearing the ice from the landing area. The guy in charge is Sergeant Mackey. He's a hoot. Yesterday, he made a snowman and put a Botch's officer cap on it. Give us all a few chuckles on target practice. I just botched that reading. So we have to defeat all enemy planes, this time in the snow. This is where it really gets interesting, boys. This is where all the heated battles go down. Haha, heated. It's funny because we're in the snow. Looking around suddenly got complicated. There were 3 Fokkers below us. They wanted to fight. We'd see that they got one. Well, we're giving these 3 boys a fight, I suppose. I'm pretty sure this is literally the worst thing we could absolutely do, is just drive or pilot straight at them. However, I'm actually very curious what would happen and how bad the AI is, if they're bad at all. I'm actually curious to see how this goes. So it was more of a test than anything. Okay, we're jammed now, so we're gonna back off because we can't even shoot them if we wanted to. So even if we had a direct head-to-head gunfight, and we oh, by the way, I think the snow actually slows down your movement speed. I definitely feel a bit more restricted in my movement. But anyway, as I was saying, even if you're in a one-on-one head-to-head gunfight, or dogfight rather, your guns jamming is definitely a huge hindrance. Now, oh man, that was close. We gotta sweep around and continue to chase them down until we obliterate their souls. Alright, so we got our teammate, our buddy over here doing some work onto this jabroni, and we're now getting a couple shots on him. There we go. We're able to take him out. Nice, clean destruction. I was about to say kill, but I mean, you can't really kill a airplane now. Whether or not we actually kill the pilot, I mean, I'll leave that up to your imagination. But anyway, let's continue on. So, we're getting a really good position on him. However, he did make a nice little agile turn, and I have to reposition in order to get a couple more shots on him. He should be super damaged now and should only require, what kind of word is that? Require a couple more shots, if that, if not just one more shot. There we go. We're able to take him down, and there should only be one remaining unless my teammates have gotten to him. But there we go. I see his cursor on the map, so we're going to chase him down. This must be the big kahuna, the boss, the leader, the grand poobah. And it might even be a one-on-one. Oh, no. Okay, in the distance, I see our 2 teammates. Wow, they're doing a good job staying alive, at least. Well, that is good news. It looks like they were able to take him out. So there we go. Even though our gun's jammed, but at least we have nothing to worry about. No target that we need to use our guns on. So, GG! Shoot as it falls out of the sky. Let's follow it down, actually. Look at that. As the last sun plummeted to the fire below, I veered from the hell brew and headed for home. Okay, good to know. Success! Nice flying, Lieutenant. Most pilots don't live past the first few sorties. 5 kills under your belt. You're now officially an ace. Don't let it go to your head. Woo! Yeah. So we have 5 missions, 5 kills, a 1-to-1. Let's check out his journal. Not looking forward to this morning's patrol. We're headed southeast of Verdun to the German aerodrome at Metz. Farrell wants to let the Germans know that they don't have free reign to cross our lines. Meanwhile, he's making it clear we'll cross theirs at any time we'll please. Nothing Farrell likes more than friendly double standard. All right, so that is it. I'm actually going to wrap it up here. That is interesting. If you are into stories and stuff like this, I mean, I guess it's pretty cool following us and ourselves and kind of gaining and climbing the ranks, and you see how you can progress. And I'm not sure if I want to do more videos on this. You guys actually let me know if you want to see more videos on this. If you do, then I'll do it. That's pretty much my motto. And if you don't, then I won't do it. But anyway, guys, hope you did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like rating. I would appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. And with that said, thank you for watching. Peace!